Getting the right motherboard isn't that easy as it seems to be. I wanted to build a top-end gaming rig using an Aura Sync motherboard. That's why I went through a handful of options. And guess what, only 5 of them were suitable enough for consideration. I know that you don't want to waste your money on the wrong product. Therefore, sit back and watch this video. By the end of this video, you'll get to know where to spend your money and where not. So without any further ado, let's start. Starting our list with ASUS ROG Maximus 12 Formula Z490. If I have to talk about one motherboard perfect in everything, it must be the ROG Maximus 12 Formula. The ASUS ROG Maximus 12 Formula comes with some superb specs. As a motherboard, it is based on a Z490 chipset and was designed mainly for those users who love water cooling. If you have used the previous version of this model, I bet you'll have a hard time differentiating. I am saying this because the layout for both motherboards shows a similarity in the components' placements. These motherboards are similar, considering different aspects. There is one slight difference that makes the Maximus 12 Formula better. This new upgraded version is composed of more cores that can clock at a way higher speed. This motherboard has a Z490 chipset compared to the previous version having a Z390, making it a better option. For those who love darkish or blackish themes, this board is an excellent choice. If you are one of them, you should also know that the body is also a bit bulky. For your high-end build, you'll find this motherboard as a compact option thanks to the protective steel backplate. Also, you'll see the heatsinks, which are adapted by the hybrid cooling system. The best part about them is that it's possible to cool the VRMs lazily due to the chunky heatsink and actively through water cooling. Since both the previous and upgraded versions are with a similar socket, the same cooling solution is eligible for usage. Previously I mentioned that the socket, Intel LGA 1200, is for this Aura Sync motherboard. This socket is there mainly for the latest 10th gen processors. Besides, if you plan to shift to the upcoming 11th gen processors, I recommend you not change the board. As this board is for futuristic purposes, hence it will be compatible with the latest processors. The Aura Sync software can fully control the RGB lighting. While testing, I set the presets as per my whims, thanks to this software. One of the crucial factors in motherboards is the type of ports used. In the ROG Maximus 12 Formula, you'll get many I/O ports from which the notables ones are 6 USB Gen 1 3.1 ports, 3 Gen 2 3.2 ports, and Wi-Fi 6 connectors, etc. For this motherboard, you don't need to worry about thermal throttling. The gaming performance is also excellent. At number 2, it's ASUS ROG Zenith 2 Extreme Alpha TRX40. I think you are already getting the vibe about what this motherboard has to offer for you with that name. The ASUS ROG Zenith 2 Extreme Alpha comes with some of the coolest features. This EATX motherboard is one of the best motherboards you will find out there in the market. In my opinion, it is an absolute beast. Compared to its previous version, there is almost no difference aesthetically. The layout looks almost identical, only the difference being a slight addition of name on the VRM heatsink. The backplate is all metal, which also makes it one of the heaviest motherboards available. It has a typical color scheme that is common for motherboards under the ROG series. All over the board, there is a blackish texture with few silverish patches at different places. The large VRM heatsink's prism pulls the job in a befitting manner. It provides an active solution that enables the board to facilitate top-notch performance at a higher temperature. Now, you might want to check the information regarding the performance. It is possible in the case of this motherboard. Not many boards offer this sort of luxury. The 1.77-inch OLED display makes it possible for you to view information regarding temperature levels and other relevant things that you should know. The power delivery of this motherboard is another thing worthy of discussion. The 16-phase architecture of which each of the phases handles 90 Ohm does a fine job ensuring optimal performance. Also, this board supports a quad-channel controller that can hold up to 256 GB of DDR4 memory. In the board, I found 3 RGB lighting zones. Over the rear edge strip, chipset, and the I/O cover. I was able to optimize and control them using the ASUS Aura software quite subtly. The effects available are like the ones you will find in every premium motherboard. Now coming to the ports, the board has 8 SATA ports with 2 USB 3.2 Gen 2 headers. Besides, among other ports, the prominent ones are 4 Type A, a single Type C, and 5 analog audio jacks. The controls for the onboard fans are substantial. Though this motherboard with a TRX40 chipset is susceptible to heating, the fans do a fine job in cooling. To end up, this ASUS Aura Sync board with such a wide range of features is an excellent choice for any high-end build. At number 3, it's ASUS ROG Strix B550E. We have already talked about the motherboards with the Z490 chipset. If you're seeking something different, this board might be a fine choice to make. The ASUS ROG Strix B550E comes with some top-notch features. This ATX motherboard has a B550 chipset. Such chipsets are mainly for AMD builds. As it is for an AMD build, the AM4 socket is there in the layout. All over the whole layout, you'll find a blackish scheme with some dark grayish patches uniformly put on. Such a color scheme looks ecstatic and pleasing to the eyes. This B550 board also comes with a robust power design, one of the most significant factors that differentiate it from other boards with a similar chipset. Also, this Aura Sync compatible board has enough heatsinks that do remarkably well in the cooling process. You'll find 3 PCIe expansion slots, of which 2 are PCIe 4.0 and a single PCIe 3.0. These expansion slots enable the motherboard to support dual GPU. Having the 8-pin and 4-pin power connectors for the CPU and the PSU makes it one of the best designed high-end motherboards. The rest of the motherboard also has to offer a lot of things as well. If I talk about the audio hardware, then I would say that the Supreme FXS 1228 codec usage is one of the best things about this board. The rear I/O shield has in total 8 USB port, of which the prominent ones are USB 2, USB 3.2 Gen 2, Type-C, etc. The RGB implementation used all over is stunning and can be controlled smoothly by the ASUS Aura software. The overclocking is somewhat mid-tier, which the users preferring high overclocking wouldn't like. At number 4 it's ASUS ROG Strix E490i. By any chance, if you are building your system based on a mini-size PC case, the traditional motherboards with ATX form factors won't be a fit in the build. In such a scenario, this mini ITX case can exceptionally be an excellent choice for your rig. The ASUS ROG Strix E490i has a good array of features to offer. Mini ITX boards are somewhat underrated, in my opinion. This board particularly comes with a Z490 chipset, which makes it suitable for housing an Intel processor. Though it is smaller in size, I assure you that the motherboard can deliver high-level performance. And that is possible due to its compact design. Talking about the design, the board looks fantastic. At first glance, you would find it to have a cleanish look with elegant styling. The rear shield hides most of the components of the layout. On the rear I/O side, you'll find BIOS flashback buttons along with 8 USB ports. One impressive thing about this ASUS Aura motherboard is its optimized power design. The 8+2 power stage design plays a part in its power circuitry and enhances the performance level. The motherboard also contains 2 M2 mounts under the heatsink. Both of those are compatible with PCIe 3.0x4. The layout housed 4 DIMM slots, 4 M2 NVMe SSD slots. Also, the Thunderbolt 3 expansion card. It can support up to 64 GB of DDR4 memory. At number 5 it's ASUS ROG Strix X299E Gaming 2. This one motherboard from ASUS is for the Intel Core X series of processors. The ASUS ROG Strix X299E has some excellent features to offer. This Aura Sync motherboard has an ATX form factor that comes with an X299 chipset. At first glance, you will find it very striking. It has that eye-catching vibe that will enhance the aesthetics at a whole new level. In the I/O shroud, you see the ROG logo engraved, inscribed by laser lights. An acrylic plate with cybertext patterns goes to a whole new level when the RGB lights are into life in the body. You'll be able to control the lighting using the ASUS Aura software. While running a test, I found that it offers 8 different lightings presets to customize the lighting and make it more enchanting. This ASUS ROG motherboard also features quad-channel memory, which can support 256 GB of DDR4 memory and 18 slots. What makes it absolute kickass is that you can hit up to 4266 MHz speeds and beyond with almost no hindrances. This board has 3 PCIe 3.0 M2 to offer. One of them supports both SATA and PCIe 3.0 X4 modes, and the other PCIe X4 is there for NVMe. You'll find 4 USB 2.0, 2 USB 5 GB per second, and 4 USB 10 GB per second on the back panel. The fan functions in such a way so that it stops whenever each of the 12 phases voltage regulators reaches 60 degrees Celsius. To be honest, I was not too fond of this board because it is not compatible with old generation processors. It limits the versatility of the board. So, these are the best Aura Sync compatible boards that can be an ideal part of your setup. Here, I have compiled the 5 best Aura Sync compatible motherboards, which are the finest ones among all others available. Whether you are having an Intel build or an AMD Ryzen, you will find the options for both types. Still, if you face any issues while selecting your desired option, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments.